What is the meaning of today's Yizkor service? So soon after Yizkor on Yom Kippur, Yizkor on the festival of Shemini Atzeret raises a host of questions. First and foremost, the question of timing. Not 2 weeks have passed since we recalled our loved ones on Yom Kippur. There's no limit to the mitzvah of remembering, but to have another service for the same purpose just now, it's deserving of inquiry. Second, and perhaps most obviously, today is a happy day. Unlike Yom Kippur, which is given over to the themes of who will live and who will die, tradition explains that today you shall be ach sameach, you shall be only joyous. How can it be that on this festival given over to joy, we devote the next sacred minutes to the loss of loved ones? Finally, of course, there's a companion holiday to Shemini Atzeret, Simchas Torah, the festival marking the conclusion of one reading of Torah and the commencement of the next. In Israel, the two holidays are celebrated as one. How do we understand the confluence of the celebratory cycle of Torah reading with this moment of Yizkor? How do we untangle all of these questions and all these emotions in these few minutes given over to the memory of our loved ones? I think the answer, or at least one possible answer, can be found in the final statement of the final page of our Eitz Chaim Chumash. And I want to thank my dear colleague, Rabbi Zuckerman, for alerting me to the observation. The commentary explains that when we conclude the Torah, as we will tonight and tomorrow, our lens of vision is directed in two ways, looking forward and looking backward. On a literary level, we go back to the opening words of Genesis, and we begin again, finding new insights on every page. We also, of course, go forward. The Haftorah, the prophetic reading for Simchas Torah, is the first verse of the first chapter of the book of Joshua, the continuing story of the children of Israel following the death of Moses. To look back and to look forward. It's not just about our cycle of reading, it's the emotional ask of this very moment. Just a few short hours, we know, the holidays will be behind us, the year in full swing, school hopefully in session, a fall that it's sure to be nonstop, and there'll be no turning back. And today is the day to take pause. It's actually what the Hebrew word atzeret means, to pause, to reflect. As I made mention last night and Rabbi Zuckerman this morning, in the rabbinic imagination, today is akin to a king who held a great feast, and as it was coming to an end, he sensed that all the guests would soon be taking their leave to resume life as normal. So he asked his dearest beloved friend to linger just a day longer, so they could enjoy the blessings of each other's presence, knowing that the future beckoned. The joy of today is meant to be exquisite, because we know it won't last. We know that soon enough, tomorrow will be here. All of which, I believe, to answer my first question, is why we have Yizkor today, so soon after the Yizkor of Yom Kippur. The people whom we remember today, we all know they're remembered differently at different times of our lives and of the year. Neither they nor our memories of them are static and one-dimensional. On Yom Kippur, we confronted the brittle nature of life, their mortality, and our own, a confrontation made all the more acute as we wrestled with themes of God's justice and mercy. But today the muscle of memory functions differently. Tomorrow beckons, but today we linger just this day with our loved ones, fathers and mothers, brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, husbands and wives. The loss is there and will always be. But today we reach for wisdom, for reflection, and most of all, for gratitude. We look back at the story, the Torah of their lives, to see the arc of their existence, to uncover new insights and appreciation. Like the actual Torah itself, there are always new understandings. We are, after all, not the same people we were this time last year. We've changed, and so do our memories. Perhaps at this time of Yizkor, a more precise translation of V'hayita ach sameach is not that you should be only joyous, but that we should be joyous nevertheless. We have lost, but we can still appreciate. We are diminished, but we can express gratitude for the blessings of our loved ones. And it's that gratitude, I believe, that enables us to turn the page to a new chapter in our own lives. What better image could there be at this time than that of Joshua picking up the mantle after the death of Moses, stepping forth with trepidation, with a backdrop of loss? How shall we move forward, all the while carrying the presence of our loved ones with us each and every step? Lest we forget, when the children of Israel left Egypt, they did so carrying the remains of the patriarch Joseph with them. Lest we forget, when they entered the land of Israel, it was with Joseph that those remains were finally laid to rest. Each one of us is but a chapter of a narrative that long preceded our arrival in this world. So too, the measure of our lives is found in the degree to which the values we hold dear extend beyond the limits of our lifetimes. Today is about looking back, but today is also about looking forward. The memories of Yizkor are not meant to be burdens that weight us down. The memories of Yizkor are the guideposts to direct our way forward. What is the meaning of today's Yizkor service? Maybe it's best understood as that pause that we grant ourselves, when no matter what we may wish otherwise, we know that this precious moment won't last forever. We breathe it in deeply. We swear to remember forever. We are filled with gratitude, and we promise never to take the gift of life for granted. Amen.